Brady here with a Random Woodworker. Back again for the review on this Skil benchtop 10-inch drill press. Before we get started, make sure you check out my website and my social media. I'll put the links here on the bottom of the screen as well as the description box below. Okay, got the stats on this 10-inch Skil benchtop drill press. It's a 5-speed. It's a 2-inch stroke, meaning this drops down 2 inches. It's a 3.2 amp motor, which is not bad. It's up to a 1/2 inch drill bit that'll fit in this chuck, so it's up to 1/2 inch. The RPMs on it is 570 to 3050 RPMs, which is pretty good. It also comes with a laser. The price is around $125. Before I get into the pros and cons on this drill press, I want to let everybody know that this unit was used when building all my projects that you see on YouTube. So I got plenty of experience using this and a few other benchtop models. Pros and cons on the 10-inch benchtop drill press. This is a 5-speed, meaning that you can adjust the belt here from 570 RPMs to 3050 RPMs. Most bench models are averaging about that. If you need slower RPMs for like metal, then some of the floor models will drop down to like 300 RPMs. This is, like I said, 570 RPMs. For me, it works great because I have drilled through metal with it. It works fine. It works great with wood too. So between the two RPMs, for me, it works really good. Next would be your 2-inch stroke. That means this will drill down 2 inches and then it stops. Okay, this benchtop model, most of them are about 2 inches. Floor models, you can go 3-4 inches. For me, 2 inches works great for all the projects you see on my YouTube channel. Next is the amp on the motor. This motor is a 3.2 amp. It's a little on the low side because you can get them at 5 amps, 8 amps. Most bench models I've seen out there are from 3 to about 4 amps, and it works fine for me. All the projects I built, this is enough power to drill through any wood projects that I have. And it works on metal. I've drilled metal with this too, so the power is there. So 3.2 for me worked just fine. This is a 1/2 inch chuck, meaning you can fit up to a 1/2 inch bit inside the chuck itself. 1/2 inch is, I think, standard on almost every drill press nowadays. They don't go any bigger unless you get into a commercial unit. 1/2 inch is fine. Okay, this is a 1/2 inch. For me, it works great because I don't go over 1/2 inch bit usually anyway when I'm working with wood. So it's a great feature at 1/2 inch. Oh, by the way, most are all, as far as I know, the bench tops are 1/2 inch. 3/8, I don't think they make them anymore, but 3/8, I'd stay away from it. I'd go the 1/2 inch. That's my personal opinion. This has a laser on it. I do not use it. That is the con for me. I don't like it. I center punch my wood projects. I'll center punch it, use the drill bit to follow the center punch, the little hole that's in it, and then it drills in just fine. I don't need a laser to show where I got to drill. Other models, floor models have it too. My opinion is I don't like it. I'm not going to use it. I don't need it. This was about $125. Most bench models are around this price up to maybe $300. $300 doesn't get you much better than the $125 one. Floor models, they're jumping into $4,000, $5,000, $7,000, $1,000 for the floor models. And remember, you're only getting maybe another inch here on throw. Maybe the motor's a little stronger, maybe it's a 5-7 amp something. But for woodworking, this works great for all the stuff I've built. The other thing too is that I use this part-time. This is not going to be for commercial use, running it 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. I'm sure the motor won't go more than 6 months or so because it's not a commercial unit. Commercial units are thousands of dollars. Now, if you're doing woodwork projects that you go on 2 or 3 times a week for an hour or two, this will last you quite a few years. I've had it 4 years now, and it's still working great. All right, the price range of $125 for these bench models. Almost all these models for $125, $300, up to $300 are going to have these issues. They put it together. Quality control doesn't really count much. Now, you can probably get a floor model that's 800, 1,000 bucks, and it probably won't have these issues. But remember, the cheaper models that are especially the bench top, I've seen the issues with it, all have these different problems with them. This one had it, and I'm going to explain what I did to make this unit here a really nice unit. All right, here's the first issue. I noticed when I got it, I turned this, it would have a grinding sensation inside here. So what I had to do is I had to take this apart. I used a 1200 wet sand, and I sanded all the burrs off all this inside, and then I put grease in there and put it back together. So I'm going to go on the other side and show you how to take this apart. Now, if you're mechanically inclined, this will be a lot easier to do. Okay, what you want to do is take off the two nuts. One's a locking nut, one's a nut for, if you notice, it's for this going up and down, then there's a spring in here. So you're going to take off the nuts, remove the spring slowly because it'll bounce. So take the spring off, then the other side, this will pull through. When it pulls through, you want to take and sand the parts. You want to take and sand the inside of this and get all the burrs off. Put all the grease back in it, put some new grease in it. Now I use high-speed bearing grease. It works great. Put it in there, put it back together. All right, put your spring in. Now you're gonna have to turn your spring and keep turning and pushing till you get the right tension. All right, if it's not tight enough, you put it here, it'll stay here. So lift it out, turn a little bit, push it back until this actually goes back on its own, all the way. See? Once you get the right tension, put the first nut on, snug it up, make sure it's still the right tension. Okay, from that point, put the second nut on and lock it so they don't come apart. Now you got the right tension so it returns all the way. Okay, next thing is, here's your lock nut and your adjustable for the tension on this neck. Roll it down a little bit, give it about an inch here, then try to move it back and forth. If it really moves, you're going to have to take the nut off, or just loosen it, I mean. Take that screw and turn it clockwise until you get this almost snug. Be careful, you're too tight, it won't go back up. So you want it to where it goes up smoothly, but it doesn't move. Now this moves just probably a thousandth of an inch. That's fine, because it's not going to, look at that, you can't tell it moving. That's when you lock your nut back down and then test it again, make sure it doesn't move and it still goes back up freely. Okay, now from that point, you run all the way down, put a little grease around here, okay, just to help it out a bit. Okay, now these 2 points are done. Now you're pretty well accurate on the setup on this, and we're going to go to the next one here in a second. Okay, now I received this, and this is loose, and this makes the motor slide in and out so you can adjust the belt. All right, I set this at 1390, so you can adjust it any speed you want, but I got it set at 1390 now. From this point, you're going to pull the motor back. Well, first of all, I'm sorry. From this point, once the belt's loose, you want to go in here and tighten up the Allen wrench on both of these. This one was loose, so I noticed as I was using it, it would stop working. I look at the top, this had fallen down and the belt fell off. So tighten the Allen wrench on both of these snug, but make sure they're flat across when you're adjusting the height of this. Make sure they're level across so the belt is even all the way across. So you can probably put the belt up here if you want. See, now does it look level across? Looks pretty level. Now you tighten them down. Make sure they're tightened real tight. So I'm going to put this at 1390. Okay, and it's still level. You don't want to do this. That's a no-no. They got to be level every time. So put like so, like so. Okay, from there you're going to pull the motor out. Take the pry bar. Okay, now pry it out. Get this tension tight. So you pry it out best you can. Tighten these down. You see this? Tighten this down. There's one on the other side as you're holding the tension. Tighten the other one down. Then adjust this a little tighter. Same with the back one. So your hand tight doesn't seem to work too well, so you want to use the wrench. Okay, now your tension's set, your speed is set. These have been tightened down. Your motor's tight. Ready to go. Okay, last adjustment. Now underneath here, there's a nut You want to just loosen this nut up that's under here. Loosen it up. This will tilt. This tabletop's going to tilt like this. All right? Tilt it until you get the drill bit just like that. See, it's all square. Okay, if you tilt it wrong, it's going to look like this, or it's going to look like this. Okay, you want to tilt it till you get it to look like this. Once you get that, tighten that nut down real tight, and then check it again. Make sure that you got it perfectly flat across the drill bit. Now this is adjusted. And I also noticed the other direction, they come pretty, this came really good the other way too, so it came out, that part was really good. Okay, this unit is ready to go. Okay, we went through all the pros and cons. Now I want to let you know that once you saw me tune this up, this became a real good unit. It works great now. I have no issues with it. Okay, now some models, like I said, maybe you get lucky they'll come where they work pretty good where you don't have to do this, but at least you know how to tune everything up in case it comes like mine did. So the unit for 130 bucks, I'm well satisfied with it. I'm giving it a B for the simple fact I had to go in here and fix a bunch of stuff, tune stuff up. But at the same time, when I was done with it, this thing works great. So I highly recommend it. That's why I give it a B. If you're mechanically inclined, well, you can get it done like I did. Thanks guys, that sums up the review for the drill press. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And click on the bell next to the subscribe button and turn on all video alerts for this channel. Thanks guys, till next time, have a great day.